What is humility? Humility is done by certain acts that are accepted. There are gestures like um, opening a door for somebody, or bowing, or putting on a hat, or like they say in a court, like taking off a hat. And um, the Jewish faith puts a cap on there when you're doing prayer, so the cap goes on. And so there's a lot of different ones. Not everything is absolute. It depends on the context that you're doing it. Humility is a very good thing to make us slow down and not get too into ourselves, such as what I'm doing um, these days. But I am still a very humble man. I know that um, the world is in the hands of God, and that makes me very humble because um, just thinking of how incredible and perfection the world is. And yeah, so something is very humbling when you can respect all the greater powers in the world. Uh, the ocean, the sky, the mountains, and it's very humble to be in awe of Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the geography, the National Geographic, spectacular, color, shape, the whole land. That's why it's so valuable. So, they actually sell it and buy it now. In the beginning, they never did that. But it's very humble to be small, to realize that you're just part of something really much bigger. I wrote this book, and he's been called a great man. He's been called a great president. And I learned all these things about him and related to it. Just imagine myself in those shoes. And very fascinating stuff. Just makes me feel humble right now. Just reading about other people and what they go through. I look to these things. That's what makes me humble. People that have lived before, like Jesus Christ. Or let's talk about Buddha. Let's talk about Krishna. Let's talk about all these great leaders that people look up to. And let's talk about Muhammad. Very controversial things these days, that what people think about others in the past. Genghis Khan or Hitler, or anyone like Karl Marx, Zoroaster, Isaac Asimov, Albert Einstein, Carl Sagan. We have to live for now, but it's very humbling to see like what's in the past and how we're just along this stream of time of history. It's just amazing. It's just I've been a student of life, and everything that happened on the face of the earth I have studied, and it's just made me very interested. It just makes me very humble about it. Just humble to see all that. If it's just a story, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just, I understand that it must have happened. We have a past, but we don't. We don't have direct proof. All we have is right now. What we are right now, we are a drop in the bucket, or just something so small in the scheme of things. But even if you can be the biggest from any particular time, if you were the biggest for some simple moment, which we all have, maybe it's like saying every dog has his day. A day in the sunshine, or a day in the shade, however you look at it. It's humble, while at the same time, I'm going to switch gears right now after 5 minutes and 45 seconds. The other side of the coin that you have to have is of looking away from humbleness, looking away from being humble, and think about how great you are, that you're capable of such things that, as Jesus Christ said, He brought up our belief in what we can do. He says that you could do such great things. Whatever I've done, you can do, and you can do more. And that's what you're supposed to do. He said that. He gave that command. Those are instructions. And He said, you can't even know about me. You don't know. It's not all written down. That in that part that says about the Bible, which they were going to tell that story of His life, He said that's not even the whole thing. They can't even write it all down. There's a lot of stuff that they would never even write down, that they can't even be remembered. There was so many things. It didn't get recorded down. It just went by so quick. But what we do have has lasted forever. So we need to reenact that also. It'd be very humbling to have people watch that and get touched by that. That's humble. That's humble. There you go. There's humble stuff with everybody else. There's humble, We want that kind of thing. We want those sons of God to be here and doing things for us. We want miracle workers. We want it. We want prophets. And those prophets exist for a reason at any different time. That is so good. I want to thank everybody in the world for coming out to watch. And if you see your country flash by, then tell me the timestamp when you saw it, when you see your particular country. And when you see that, write it down. When you see your place of the world. You got to be good with the map. You have to say exactly when. And you don't have to do the fraction of a second, just do the second. I don't know if I'm getting every country here, but it's enough of them. I'm going to get to the index pretty soon. The index of the atlas is incredible. Oh, the atlas. The index. Thanks everybody for watching about humility and comparison with, if they call it ego or strength or power, that Jesus Christ gave us to do great things because we are expected to learn from Christ and be like Christ. And if we're going to be like Christ, then let's get to it. Let's do it right now. Like the best, finest attributes of Christ, whatever they are, with the exception of being crucified. Okay? I didn't have time for crucifixion. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that. And I need to hear the tune again, but I remember it's just stuck in my head. I don't know where it comes from, but something from the mainstream media or just really funny. But it's like what do you apply it to? As I'm sitting there as president of the United States of the world, and um, um, you got to relate to the people. That's being humble. If you don't relate to the people, you get out of touch. People like other presidents, I'm not going to name any names, other presidents who they come forward to you, and then you think about it, it's like they're not like us. They don't do anything like what we do. That's not like us. Me, I'm like us. I'm like us. I can say that. We're family. I'm like us. That's humble. That is humble. And by the way, I'm part Chinese, so I can get peace with the Chinese. You're going to need that, because that war with China is coming. You better put in a part Chinese. It's time for that. But you put a black man in, the African Americans are happy. What about the Asian Americans? You think Asian Americans don't vote? They vote also. I'm with the Latinos. You can solve that problem. I'm part Latino, yeah, through my mother. Espanol, Spanish. So Latinos, if you want someone of your own kind, you can see that. When you start seeing that. I am. Hola, amigos. Yeah, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? See, it's time. People, it's time. You might not like everything about me, but there's going to be something you say, yeah, that's my guy. That's my homie right there. That's my homie. That's what I'm talking about, humble. That's my humble homie. That's what I'm saying. And I don't want any trouble in the streets or stuff, but we gotta settle down and make sure everything works for everybody. And I need training programs. I'll put people to work who want to work. Get education in the schools to be practical and get this country back on its feet. That's humble. That's humble. And I am not going to celebrate until I get it done. I'm already celebrating, knowing that it's in the bag for me. It's a done deal. I am your next president. I am the next leader that you're going to be looking to for answers. And I ain't going to stop. There's nothing out in the world that tells me it ain't going to be. I'm already a shoo-in. I just gave you all the heads up on getting aboard. And I already put you on board. I gave you a ticket, so you can get on board the gravy train. And we're going to have a good time getting ready. Even work. We have a work party. Have some music out in the field. I'm working out there with you. Do you know that I used to work by the side of the strawberry fields, in the strawberry fields, picking strawberries with Pete Seeger? With Pete Seeger. Do you understand me? That's who you're talking about. Humble? Peter-Appleseed is as humble as the salt of the earth, right down to the soil you're walking on. I put seeds in the ground. That's why my fingernails are dirty. That's why I have to go and wash it up, because I'm producing my own food. Growing my own food. I don't grow everything, no, but there's a problem. The country has to get back to its roots. I say it's got to get back to its seeds. That's humble. That is very humbling to know that that's what it's going to take, but that's what we're going to do. America, that's what we're going to do. Then you will be back to stability and peace and prosperity. If you go back to being humble, I will do it. Will you do it with me? When will you? Can you do it? How can you do it? I will give you ways. We will be talking and doing this. That's humble. Humility.